Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to have a look at the landscape of these AI tools, these new, what they call large language models. As a business owner, you don't care what the technology is behind this, you just want to see it to solve problems. And there are different tools to choose from, and they all generally do the same thing. Some have some pros and cons, but generally they're pretty good at doing everything. Okay. So we have OpenAI's ChatGPT, which was the first one and the most one that everybody knows. We have Google with their Gemini. We have Anthropic with their Claude, and we have xAI with their Grok, and we also have Microsoft with their Copilot. These are the major ones. There are others like DeepSeek from China, but these are the major ones that we're going to delve in and look at today and see a comparison. Right, so going straight in, let's have a look at the first one. This is ChatGPT. It's available, chatgpt.com. All of these tools have free and paid tiers that you can use, and you get a choice of different models. Now, as a business owner, you don't need to worry about that, right? So, but I would advise paying for the subscription because you get more powerful versions of the models. Okay, when you log on to ChatGPT, you see this central screen, and it's an area where you can ask questions. And you can also, up here, you can see ChatGPT. This is the name of it. This is a list of all the different models. Don't worry about it. Just choose the default. It's perfectly capable of solving almost all the different the particular types of business problems that you're likely to have. Okay, so don't worry about moving these around. But you can use the free model, as I said, but it's better to have paid model. Most of these, the first paid tier is around $20 to $25 a month, so it's not a huge expense, and it's worth just paying for it and starting to play. Okay, now let's use an example. When we are prompting, we have to feed a prompt into this text box, right? And a prompt is explaining to the model, the tool, what you want to do. Okay, so it should have a concise objective, a concise goal. You can set the tone of the response. Do you want it to be academic? Do you want it to be business-like? Do you want it to be friendly? Do you want it to be formal, etc.? You can ask it to act like a particular expert. So in the example where what I'm going to show today, we're going to create a travel itinerary. So you might say to the model, act like the world's greatest expert on tourism. Okay. And you can ask it to produce a particular number of words. You can ask it to include, so I'll put everything in bullet points, add citations, references, etc., etc. It's really down to you how you do it. So let's do an example prompt. Here's a prompt which I prepared earlier. Here I am. I am visiting Washington, D.C. for 2 weeks in August from the 10th to the 24th. So this is my specific introduction. You are an expert on Washington, D.C., so I'm telling the tool to act like an expert and knows a lot about Washington, D.C. I am interested in culture, history, food, and scenery. Create a travel itinerary, this is where you're getting specific, for this time. You've also told it your interests, so it knows the kind of things to focus on. Recommend some good hotels under $600 a night. User-friendly but professional tone. So we're asking for recommendations for hotels, and we're asking it to be friendly but be professional because we're business people, right? We want to have fun, but we want to get everything sorted. So click on the button here, and it's going off and it's scanning the internet and its library of data to come up with some answers. And here we are, starting to answer already. First, the list of recommended hotels, all under $600 a night. I don't know, I've been to Washington a couple of times, but I don't really know it very well. But here you've got the names of the hotels, and you've also got links, okay, to the booking.com, etc., to actually book the hotels that you might be interested in, okay. Then further down, you've got the itinerary. So week 1, settle into your hotel, evening stroll, National Museum of African American History and Culture, day 3, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, it's working its way through different examples. Okay. And as you go down through the whole 2 weeks, you'll get to see every single aspect. Now, this initial prompt might not come back with everything you're interested in. And if you know there are some things you do want to see, then add them to the initial prompt. But you can modify the prompt. You can go back and say, can you recreate it? But also, I'm interested in seeing these places as well. Okay, so you can. It's a quite a popular tactic in prompting to have to refine your prompt a few times to help the model understand exactly what you want. Okay, but as you can see, it's produced quite a comprehensive model, and you can copy it. You can tell the model, oh, that was a good or bad response. So you're kind of training it. You can edit it. You can share as well. You can share the text to something else, and you can check out all the sources it used. Now, adding a textual prompt is one way of using this system, but also they all have voice. Okay, so if I come down here and click on use voice mode, if I click on it, it'll take a while to kick off. Hi, good afternoon, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going so far?
Very good. I was asking a question about creating an itinerary for visiting Washington, D.C. Can you have a look at it, and can you make any other suggestions based on my criteria?
Absolutely. The itinerary we put together covers a lot of the must-see spots, but we can definitely add more suggestions. If you love nature, you might enjoy a day trip to Great Falls Park, which is just outside the city and offers beautiful hiking trails and waterfalls. Another fun idea might be exploring some of the vibrant neighborhoods like Adams Morgan for eclectic dining and nightlife. And if you're a fan of history, you could consider a guided tour of the historic homes in the area, like the Anderson House. Let me know if any of these sound interesting.
Thanks very much. So there's a good example of using the voice, right? And ChatGPT and all of these other tools do similar things, and they also have apps. So you can download a ChatGPT app from the Apple or Google store, and the same for the others as well. And you notice here that it's also provided a transcript and a recording of what it just said. And this conversation is stored historically. When you want to move on to a new subject, you hit new chat, but you'll see when you log in on the left-hand side panel a list of all the chats that you've done before. So you can go into an old chat and carry on asking more questions. So remember, it's able to separate all the chats out. Okay, so that's one example. We can also ask it to generate a picture. Generate a picture of a famous location in Washington. So it's what we call multimodal. Okay, one mode is text, one mode is voice, one mode is imaging, another mode would be video, etc., etc., etc. These tools are getting more and more powerful, and depending on which tool you're looking at, they're all becoming multimodal. They didn't all start that way. Some started from the beginning as a multimodal, and then they've been adapted, and others started with a multimodal for you. Now, how's that important to a business owner? Well, it might be useful if you need it to analyze images and videos and other things in the future as well. These tools provide you a lot of facilities, but also a lot of software platforms which we might use, like the Microsoft Office, and other tools that we have, like whatever we're using to manage our businesses. You'll probably have found out already that they're incorporating AI into their tools as well, because they can provide extra services for you and help you solve your business problems faster. So here it's creating the image, it's taking a bit of time. So when you're making the prompt, the images take longer to create than, say, textual responses, and it'll all depend on how many people are using the same service. I'm using the subscription-based version. This isn't the free version, it's a subscription. So I will get preference for using resources. So that's another good reason to subscribe to these services. As you can see, it's creating the Lincoln Memorial as a potential image, and once it's finished, you can share it, you can download it, and you can say, is that good or not? Yeah, we like that one, that's nice. Okay, and this is AI generated, this is not a photo. Okay, so this is ChatGPT. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is Google Gemini, created by Google, embedded in all their product suite, which is very powerful. So if you're using Google a lot, Google Gemini is a very good solution. but we'll come to that. We'll talk about that in the future. Let's put the same prompt in and press enter, and then hit the button, and we'll see how it generates what we need. Okay, so it's been a quicker response. That's because probably less people are asking the same question at the same time. And you see it's got a list of very nice hotels for under $600 a night, and it's given me an itinerary to come to. And we can keep moving down, and you'll see it's still generating the results. It's quite a comprehensive itinerary, so that's good. And it's giving you some hints and tips. And there you go. And once again, you can save this. You can share it, etc. Let's ask it for some more details. I love food. Which restaurants would you recommend during my trip? Okay, press enter. And this is an example of reprompting, asking for more details about a particular thing. So here it is. It's come up with quite a few hotels and things you can do. And of course, you can ask it to give you the location and things, and you can download this and access it in the future. Okay, remember this is also accessible from an app as well. All right, so there's a classic example. Let's ask it to create a prompt, create an image, an image of a well-known location in the city. It knows we're talking about Washington because it understands the context. Here it is generating the image. Okay, so it's going away, and look, it's gone for the Lincoln Memorial as well. Okay, so and we can ask it to refine and move forward from that. We can ask it to change the color, make it a night image, whatever you want to be. And of course, you can download these images and put them out everywhere. Right, so let's go on to the next one, Claude. Claude is made from a company called Anthropic. We'll put the same prompt in, hit return. And here we go as it goes off and comes up with its own answer for this one. So we're using the same prompt in each example. You know, every tool has pros and cons, but they can generally, for these simple things, they can all do well. For more advanced areas, some have a slight edge over the others, but it's changing so quickly. The advancements in technology, the investment going into these tools is staggering. So it's only going to get better and better. So here you see that it's doing this analysis, producing the results. It's got some great recommendations for food and itinerary. Also, events that might be going on during August, which is great. And of course, you can delve into more detail as explained, and it's got some generic tips as well. So once again, depending on the context of what you're asking, you get a great output. Right, so let's move on to the next one, which is Grok. Grok is from xAI, which is one of Elon Musk's companies. Let's copy the prompt into there and hit the return and see what it comes up with. While we're waiting for that, we'll ask Claude, because I forgot to, create an image because we want to test the capabilities. Image of a famous landmark in the city. Oops. Okay, we're just creating. Okay, so in this particular tool, it doesn't want to create an image. So it shows you that not all the tools can do everything. Okay, we go to Grok. It's just finishing the hotel recommendations. Let's have a look. Hotels, 15-day itinerary. Still plugging away, and we will wait for it to come on day 5. Plenty to look there, and of course, as I said, you just keep refining. If you want to zero in on particular aspects of your trip to do it. And of course, if it's a business trip, or anytime, you can ask it for directions from A to B. You can, ask it how many hours would it take to get around such and such, etc. So you can really plug in more details about the trip. So let's try is prompted going create an image of a famous location in the city. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, it's moving away. Oh, there you go. Okay, it's come up with 2 versions of the Washington Monument and a Lincoln Monument. So plenty of opportunities, and these are AI generated images, right? They're not real pictures. And the technology behind these are getting better. You can kind of tell that this is not real, but it won't be long before it's going to be very, very difficult for a human being to determine between an AI and a real image, and they will have to be digitally marked. That's part of the standards for AI that people are working on now. A lot of the company you'll see here, for example, there's a little watermark in the bottom right showing that it's been created by Grok, an AI tool. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is the tool that Microsoft have produced. Let me just switch to a different screen. Here we go. So on every Windows computer, you can now see something called Copilot. It's in the bottom bar. And Copilot originated because Microsoft invested in OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, and they purchased that technology, branded it as Copilot, and then tuned it to what they wanted and embedded across their product line. So if you're familiar with Excel, Word and Outlook and PowerPoint, etc., this tool has been embedded not only in those platforms, but also in the Windows operating system as well. So you can access it from the bottom bar on your Windows, and you can go in and you can put the same prompt in, hit the button, and it will come up with an answer as well. Now, of course, it is based on ChatGPT, but Microsoft have done their own customizations and fine-tuning. So let's see what it comes up with. It's nice hotel recommendations, and you can it's got links to go to the hotel themselves, which is useful. Nice itinerary, and then I can ask it again, create an image of a famous landmark in the city. Let's see what it comes up with. So it's thinking about it. Once again, it is using the ChatGPT engine, but it comes up with its own scenarios. Starting on your masterpiece, as it says. So yeah, it's taking a bit of time. So obviously, as a business person, you don't really care about the underlying technology. You just want it to solve your problems, all right? And all of these tools have particular strengths and weaknesses. They're all very powerful. They can all do pretty well everything, but some are better than others. Of course, for example, if you are heavily invested in the Google, it's probably best to use the Gemini. If you're heavily invested in general tools, and ChatGPT is very good, and it's the easiest one I feel to use from the beginning. They're all becoming very, very powerful. They're all heading to a concept called general AI, which will solve any problem given to it. How long that takes, we don't know. It could be next year, it could be another 5 years. It can never happen, we don't know. But definitely as a side effect of what's going on, some very powerful and useful tools for the business will come out. So here's an example where something goes wrong. Sorry, I couldn't generate that image. Please try again. So it was trying to generate the image and it failed. And sometimes these tools will fail. Okay, so you have to try again. They're not perfect. There's a concept called hallucination. So if you ask it to give you factual information, you should check and make sure that everything's fine, because they're getting better all the time. But in the early days, they were causing all sorts of problems with bad information. They're getting a lot better, but do double check any facts and figures that it's looking for. So what could you use these tools for? Well, if you've seen my earlier videos, and we just started the channel, but they can help with all the different processes across your company. Content creation, managing processes, cutting costs, so many things. HR, marketing, production, communications, product development, social media development. There's so many areas that they can be used. Not only that, as I said, they're all the industry platforms that businesses use, everything from Microsoft to SAP to Amazon Web Services to all the different tools. They're all using these tools, these AI tools, to help provide better services to you. Okay, but as a small, medium business owner, the purpose of all of this and what I'm doing and what the team is doing is to provide you with a non-technical way of helping you to play around and help your business solve the problems in your business. And in future videos, we'll be diving into solving these problems. You don't really need to know what's going on behind the scenes. But I thought it was a good idea just to go, to check out all the different major tools, and there are others as well. So let's go back. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's a real pleasure, and we're producing a couple of videos a week, and it'll keep going and growing and growing. So please like and comment below. What do you think of the video? Give me feedback and what kind of things you'd like to see, and follow us on X and all the other social media channels that we have. And hopefully we will be able to help you take full advantage of these tools to improve your business. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.